Welcome to Indian Tech Icon Spotlight. Our guest today is Mr. Ashish Garg. Ashish is passionate about cybersecurity. At his core, he is an expert in the cybersecurity and he has passion and instinct. Someone whose passion, instinct are rooted in protecting the digital ecosystem. Let's hear his story in his own words. Welcome to the show, Ashish. Pleasure to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, so let's jump into the discussion. Our audience would love to know your story and what you do, your past, and probably we'll also go around your thought process, thinking around your passion, cybersecurity. So you have your own company and you help your customers or I should say in the world of cybersecurity. So tell us about that, what it is, what do you do, what your company does, and the areas of expertise.
Yeah, so it's really nice to be here, first of all. Thank you so much for inviting me. RIGA Cyber, that's my company. We started this with the vision of democratizing cybersecurity. We see a lot of complexity in the domain right now. All my career of 20 plus years, I have dealt with that from Fortune 500 as well as small startup perspective. And I wanted to change the perspective of helping those small, medium-sized businesses, large enterprises with their cybersecurity challenges, be it complexity in determining the products and solutions they need for the specific business aspect, or just having a way to decode the complexity around implementation and operationalization. So that's what we started last year. We are still new, we are learning and trying to figure out what all is needed in this market.
So why the cybersecurity was top of your mind? You know, there are like other things probably you may have thought about, but why cybersecurity?
So it started when I came to this country for my master's, and the professor I was doing my master's project, he was into information assurance. We had Air Force Research Lab supporting a lot of the research, and I just got very curious and understand what nation-state threat actors are, what kind of cybersecurity related aspects they were looking into solving. I got very curious and interested, and then that's where the journey started. I always wanted to be an engineer of some kind. That was my kind of passion, doing some kind of engineering, mechanical, industrial, computer science later on. So that's where it started, and then I never looked back. I just started getting more and more involved. I just loved the entire domain from all aspects.
So when you started the company, it was like what, like you started the company recently or it's been a while?
It's been roughly a year. So I was in a regular corporate job till early last year. And then I was looking to do something like this for a really long time. Somehow the market dynamics and the challenges I faced in terms of solving the problems in the corporate kind of gave me an idea that maybe this is a next thing I can do. Try it out. I actually wanted to start a company just before COVID. That didn't happen. Somehow when COVID hit, it was a lot of uncertainty in the world.
Right.
But this was supposed to happen in a different form, different shape of a company back in 2020. So I'm happy I was able to start it.
Yeah.
It's still early.
Yes, absolutely. So tell us about your challenges. You know, a lot of people think about starting a company and they never do. It's sitting somewhere in the mind all the time. So what was the feeling like? Because it's a big step to leave the job which gives you regular income, and you may have a big idea, but then like what is the motion you go through? Generally one goes through when they go and venture into these kind of uncharted territories, if you will.
Yeah, and it is difficult. It's not easy, and like I said, it's been a long time dream of mine to start a company, originally to build products and security products and solutions. It is very, very hard when you have a job, because job requires that kind of commitment of 8 to 10 hours at least a day.
Right.
You have family, you have kids, your wife has her own obligation, for example, travels or going to work, own projects. And it just becomes difficult to do it on the side. Very few people I know are able to do something on the side and make it a meaningful business and then quit the job and continue on. I would encourage though to taste it a little bit, because first of all, it's not for everybody. And that's the advice I got from my mentor as well, that, you don't have to have a company. Just because you think you want to build a company doesn't mean you have to. Not everybody is meant to do that. And it's okay not to start a company. I always wanted to build. Like I said, I would have been an engineer no matter what kind. It was always in my, thought. And I just wanted to give it a try, and I'm fully committed to trying it out. And that's what happened. I didn't want to let go the opportunity to try it, and that's what I did.
That's great. I think it seems like that has been your passion, and now that you're doing it over a year, at least it seems like you have got some head start now in that direction. But when you actually left your job and started this, was it like right after that, or was there a gap in between?
There was a few months gap when I was still contemplating whether I want to go for another job or I want to do this. So they started more like on the side to test the market and see how well it's going to work. And then a few months later, I realized that it's going to be very, very difficult. The same challenge I mentioned, trying to have a job and do something on the side. You cannot try to find a job and try to run a business, right? So I had to make a choice. I just thought through it and said, I'm going to give it 6 months and see how well I can do, but I'm going to only try one thing. I'm not going to look for a job. I'm going to continue to build the company. And then I just continued on, and then it looked pretty I think I had the passion for the domain. I really genuinely wanted to help the companies and people, and that helped me to continue to keep going.
That's great. I think seems like it's a great advice for people to rate that if you want to do something, just think about it, focus on one thing and try it out. And if works out, great. If not, what next needs to be done. Seems like in your case, it worked out well. So.
Yeah, we are still early, like I said, so we do have our own learnings, we do have our own challenges, but one piece of advice I give to anybody, whether it's job or the business they want to do, is do it for the passion. So I do a lot of mentoring to people who are aspiring to be in cybersecurity or are in cybersecurity and trying to grow in their career. I tell them, do not choose a domain or any work that you're not passionate about, because when you do something just for money, you will not be very successful. There will be a lot of days when you will be discouraged, and it's not the money that's going to encourage you, it's a passion that you have for that domain. If you have the passion, you'll always say, tomorrow is the next day, I still love this domain, I still want to do this, and you'll keep going. Otherwise, it will break you very quickly.
Yeah, no, that's very well said actually, that passion always drives things. Money can only take you so much, or take you far, only so much. So now you started your own company, you left behind the job. How it is now, like, are you, or should I ask you differently, like what keeps you awake now?
A lot of things. So there was a lot of learning. I come from a background or family of engineers and doctors. So we are not a business family. I come from a very humble middle class family from a tier 2 city in India. So the aspirations were as much as you can dream being in that city, right? So the mindset shift was the biggest challenge, thinking that you can do it. There is a huge component of sales and marketing, letting people know what you are able to do, building credibility with people. When you're in a job, you have a cushy job, you have salary, you have partners, people helping you all the time because you're part of a corporate ecosystem. Yeah. But here you are building everything from ground up. You have none of that. You are trying to learn things that you have not done before, and you are probably not the best yet. So you have to keep building. So in terms of what keeps me up at night, how do we make sure people understand what we are trying to do, our mission statement? how do we make sure our products and services are very, very clear to understand, adopt, and market? How do we make sure the current customer base we have is extremely happy with us? We are ruthlessly prioritizing customers who are currently engaged with us to make sure they are successful. Once we engage with them, we are not looking at just the billing aspect. We are not looking at just what they need today. We are looking at it as a long-term relationship. So building that as part of the DNA or the culture of the company is what keeps me. Because once we have that ball rolling, we have that flywheel effect, I think we'll be doing.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the great businesses are built on customer success stories only, right? So that's a great way to look at it. So that's what keeps you awake. I'm sure that when you're following your passion, you will get there. Like you will get whatever you want, because as you earlier said, that passion drives a lot of things, and the best results are come out when you actually are following your passion. So good luck with that.
Thank you.
Now, going back a little bit in time, this is your current today. Let's touch upon your early days, college, your education, what you were at that time, and then how did you got into, and I think you said that you're from a family of doctors and engineers, so seems like that was a go-to sector for you. But what made you think, okay, I want to do engineering and maybe not doctorate or anything else? And what was that defining moment when you said, okay, I want to go to technology after that?
Yeah. So growing up, actually, even when I was maybe not even 10 years old, I always was very curious. So my father used to bring a lot of these tech kind of toys. I remember having a transformer kind of car transformer kind of toy. And then the next thing I know, I was just opening it to see how it works. And I broke more toys than I fixed as a 7, 8, 10 year, 12-year-old kid. We used to have, back home in India, we used to have a carpenter who came to build furniture. That there used to be time, and I used to sit all afternoon watching how he's creating those joints and gluing, doing all that stuff. So I always wanted to understand how things work, and that's where I think core engineering. And then I was extremely lucky when I was in my teenage. I think just trying to finish middle school, my father got us a computer, which was a luxury at that time. Super expensive, but he understood the value of that. And then the next thing I know, I was just trying to work on my programming, Pascal, Visual Basic, and all that stuff. And I just started loving using computers. My technology, the engineering started very early. Tech components started in my early teens, and then it was just a natural progression after that. And I never look back, because I think I'm extremely grateful to my parents for allowing me to do what I wanted to do, and supporting that, encouraging that, and enabling me to do what I wanted to do. And that's the result I think I see in myself of continue to persevere and make things that.
Yeah. So seems like those early days, your passion of learning engineering, and then your father getting you the computer, and I think you didn't have a second choice at that time. Your mind was already prepared that this is what I want to do.
Yeah,
that's great. So when you got into engineering, what was it like at that time, and then when did you thought that okay, I should go out? When you did your PhD, right? So because a lot of people will go and do masters, PhD is 2 steps further. Maybe should I call you as doctor? Because that's something which really requires a lot of passion. I mean, not everyone will just do PhD. It's not easy also.
Yeah.
So what was the moment then when you thought that, okay, I should be doing PhD and not masters?
So original idea was never to do PhD. I wanted to do masters and then, find a job and do all that. The second year of masters, when I started getting involved in the information assurance, my professor for the master's project, he was building a lot of these projects for Air Force Research Lab, Department of Defense, things of that nature. I just started liking it a lot, and that project just looked like it's ending too soon. I needed to learn more things about it. I needed to be more involved, and somehow corporate world seemed like it's going to suck me into what is going to be a sudden shift into day-to-day work rather than exploring, innovating, and publishing new ideas. So I talked to him, and it took a while, but eventually he agreed that it could be a good path for me going forward. And
so I've seen that this cybersecurity field has evolved over years. I think in earlier days, or I would say maybe 15 years from now or 15 years ago, cybersecurity, people used to talk about it, but it was not the thing like what we hear in the last 5-7 years. Maybe 15-18 years back, it was not as prevalent. Probably it was there. So how that has evolved over a period of time?
I think the biggest change happened back in late 90s, early 2000s. We got more connected to the internet. The computer I talked to you about when I got first, it was not connected to a network. There was no network. It was just a local computer. You boot it up, use it. We got connected to internet.
Right.
Early 2000s, right, when Google came up with a Gmail and a lot of cloud services started coming, AWS came, you not only got connected to internet, but you can access your data from anywhere in the world.
Right.
And that changed the perspective of how to secure it. That changed it a lot a bit. It became very personal to people. 2007, iPhone came, Android came, people had a lot more access to their personal data on the device, their photographs, family photographs, their personal documents. That was going to cloud, going to, other services that they were submitting to. We have been digitizing things quite a bit in last 20 plus years. And then cloud became so mainstream in last 10 to 15 years that you cannot have your life without some kind of cloud service today. So that changed the perspective, and with that comes threats, attacks, vulnerabilities, because software will always have some vulnerabilities. It's still somebody is able to discover and exploit it. And then we needed better solutions. We needed better protections. We needed a more comprehensive plan and strategy for cybersecurity in a corporate environment. Companies started becoming bigger. They started offering a lot more services than they were, right? I think that's what's happening. And with AI and emerging technologies like quantum, we will see a lot more happening and much faster now than ever in our lifetime.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question. The AI, the big thing that everyone talks about. So where does this two sit together, AI and the cybersecurity? Like how they are either connected or are they overlapping each other? Like how do you see them?
So they are supporting each other. They are in a supporting role. So there is AI for cybersecurity. So a lot of cybersecurity solutions that were built earlier or are being built are leveraging a lot of AI capabilities that did not exist, let's say 5-10 years back, because of lack of GPUs or the compute power that we needed, the algorithms, the mechanisms. So we are seeing quite a bit of shift. There are hundreds and hundreds of companies that have adopted a lot of AI, LLM, generative AI, machine learning, because now those models can perform a lot better than they could earlier, because you have more GPU availability, you have better algorithm. So it is helping improve cybersecurity posture. But remember, the malicious actors also have access to SIEM.
Right.
So that is the race now, similar race that we had before. The second thing is securing these AI models. So a lot of companies are pretty much all the companies that our customers, we engage with customers, they are trying to adopt AI for some business case, customer service, chatbots, password resets for IT. The plethora of use cases they are adopting for their business, improving services for their customers, providing better analytics using AI. All those models need to be secured. So now cybersecurity has to be applied, that domain has to help secure those AI models, help secure those deployments using AI for the company, right? That's how I think they are kind of inseparable at this point. They are supporting each other. AI is helping better adoption of cybersecurity, and cybersecurity is helping better adoption of AI.
So it seems like they are pretty much needed and go hand in hand basically. That's a good thing to know, because a lot of people think about AI. Everybody talks about it, but not a whole lot of people know exactly what AI is going to solve for us, other than people thinking that, okay, maybe it might displace jobs, but like very little people think about what are the other benefits AI is going to give. I think this one seems like another one where AI can help us with all these malicious actors, bad actors also. Obviously, working together with the cybersecurity software or the program or expert like you. So, when you were going through your career progression through these companies, how have you seen the evolution of cyber security along the way in your different roles, if you will?
So I started, like I mentioned, with research and development. So trying to research, figure out potential use cases to protect nation states, like I mentioned, Air Force Research Lab, trying to identify malicious actors, intrusions, things of that nature. But when I went to the corporate, what I was actually building solutions based on a predefined specification that we are trying to solve this specific problem, right? There was no more a research aspect of it. There was no more open-ended thing. That was very specific challenge, very specific problem that customers are willing to pay for, and we are building, making them successful. So I did that for 12 to 14 years, initial my career, and then 12 years maybe, and then last 8 to 9 years, I have switched my role from being a builder to a practitioner. So building security programs, leveraging those kind of products and solutions to build security programs, understanding the maturity of the programs, identifying the gaps in the program to see where we have weaknesses and how to prevent outsiders to kind of come and attack or exploit the vulnerabilities. So that has evolved, and now what I am doing for last 20 years is bridging that gap. So I understand the builder's mindset. I have built those products and solutions, and I understand practitioner's mindset where there's a challenge and I'm leveraging a product that was built by somebody. And now I can marry them together and say, if you are looking to build this as a practitioner and you need product and solutions, I can support end-to-end. My company can actually leverage what your infrastructure looks like, understand the assets, and build an entire strategy, build a program, bring solutions from our partner ecosystem, implement them, operationalize them, mature them, and provide you the kind of high-level visibility you need in terms of where the risks may be, that you can take to your board or your cyber insurance provider, things of that nature. So that's how I think evolved for me, a full circle from research development to builder to practitioner to kind of marrying all of that and building that.
Yeah, I think that's a great experience as well, to come with that thought process of, you have seen it all from all the angles, and now you're able to present it to your customers. I also have seen going through your profile on LinkedIn around, what else you have done, and it seems like you are engaged with a lot of other startups, and you are part of advisory board. How does that look like? How do you enjoy that work?
So I have done it for almost 4 years now, and I'm a people person. I love to help companies, love to help people. I love building network and relations. This actually started because a couple of my friends who started their companies, they wanted me to kind of help them without thinking. I said, yeah, of course I will help. We started working together for months and months, and then they basically wanted me to be an official advisor because they saw enough value. They knew that I can bring the kind of strategies that they are not able to think because they are so involved in building the product. I understand the problem from a pain point perspective as a practitioner, but I also understand the pain of building a product and features for a specific requirement that may or may not be scalable or may be a one-point solution. So somehow that worked out, and then I just started enjoying it so much because this gave me so much insight into new products, solutions, services people are building. Because now there are so many people who would come to me for asking for feedback about what they're building. Couple of companies recently actually came to ask me while they were brainstorming few ideas to say which one would work, and they wanted to lay out all of those ideas to me. And that I thought was very powerful, because now I have visibility into any domain you take. I can talk about at least 4 or 5 companies that are doing that, and I can compare and contrast and see how they're thinking about it, where the trend is going, where the VC funding potentially is going to be going, right? I can actually build that kind of go-to-market strategy with some of those domains, and and it's a constant evolving field, constant learning for me, but I think that gives me a lot of confidence in what I'm doing on a day-to-day basis as well. So that's where I think it's on the side, but it supports my bigger vision quite a bit.
No, that's, I think, very much aligns to your, as you said, yes, your vision as well. And that being your passion, as much as information you get, I think it's going to help you more than anything else. So we talked about your career, professional journey, other activities that you do, which is similar to work. Now let's touch upon a little bit on your personal side.
Okay.
Outside of work, what is Ashish like? What are your hobbies, what you like to do, or in your spare time, how do you want to spend the time?
So it has changed, but I still love traveling quite a bit. That's one of my biggest passion. I used to like doing photography a lot, but it has been a little bit challenging in recent few years to keep up with that, because it requires a lot of effort, time, and leaving family too, right? You have to
Right.
kind of things you want to do. You can't take everybody along all the time. Nighttime photography, landscapes which are a little barren and all that. So I picked some gardening, and I love to grow vegetables and fruits in my backyard. I just love doing that. It solves 2 problems for me. First of all, I'm with nature a little bit. I love to play with soil, work with all that stuff. But one of my colleagues long time back gave me an advice on, so I was trying to get into a lot of leadership books 5-6 years back, and he said I switched have been trying to switch to audiobook instead of physical book or Kindle. And then so I started doing that. I started liking, because it doesn't require my attention holding a paper book. And then he advised me, since you're trying to do more gardening, this is just when the COVID was starting, why don't you just put the audiobook while you're doing trimming or whatever you're doing? So now I'm able to finish a lot of books and do the gardening. So the reading was always, for many, many years I've been very passionate, but I never got time or could not focus. But this allows me to do both gardening and reading. So I love to read a lot.
And also the food is more organic now.
Hopefully some of it, whatever we can grow.
And it's homegrown, so it's always, you feel like, okay, I've seen this growing, and it's our backyard.
You control what you're putting in the soil. Yeah.
So that way, so you said gardening, photography, no more, but once upon a time. What else? Any sports, anything?
I love to bike. I like long walks a lot when I can. So 1.5 hour, 2 hour, whatever I can go. Then I put a podcast, audiobook, or sometimes I go without anything. I love to listen to music since childhood, so I sometimes put that on as well. But yeah, long walks, they're really extremely refreshing to me.
Well, so with your experience in this field of cybersecurity, and then you scaling up to do something of your own, is there any message that you want to give to our audience, any budding entrepreneur? We talked about people thinking about doing stuff, but they don't do it for whatever various reasons. You said one, which is very common. Having a job and then doing something on side is not scalable, because you cannot spend time. And leaving the job also, people have commitments. Yeah. So if somebody has to do this, what's your advice? Because you have done this, and you took that leap of faith, if you will. So what is that advice that you want to give to our viewers, listeners, who can take that cue from you?
So definitely follow your passion, like I mentioned. Get the right coach, right mentors, people who support you, whether it's at home, whether it's in professional place, whosoever can support you, and it does take a while to get anywhere you need to. We do hear stories about instant success that doesn't exist for the most part. It's always a lot of hard work and a lot of failures
Yeah.
before you get to a success story. And just keep that in mind. It's not going to be easy, but it's going to be rewarding.
Wonderful advice. Thank you so much, Ashish, again for sharing your story with our audiences, sharing it with me. It was fun talking to you, getting to know more about you, your profession, what you do. And I do see that the significance of the work that you do. So good luck from our side in whatever you do, whatever new endeavors you do. And good luck for your company as well.
Thank you so much.
It's great chatting again. Thank you.
for having me. Thank you so much.